Hey guys, today is going to be an exciting day for me. Yeah, after I read a book, learn something new, I can set free the carp that my mom just bought. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, very fun. I'm going to set free the carp with some of my friends, some of my neighbors. So yeah, we talk together like always, like every year. So first, I'm going to read my book, the book Girls in Tears, and today will be chapter 2. It is Girls Cry When Their Friends Say Mean Things. So let's get started. This is so typical of Nadine. I love her dearly, but she always has to upstage me. When we were tiny girls, and I was so thrilled to get my first ever Barbie doll, the standard little girly version. Nadine got a special collector's Queen of the Night Barbie with long hair and a beautiful deep blue dress. She was supposed to be kept in pristine condition in her plastic case, but Nadine got her out and combed her luxury hair and made her fly through the air, deep blue skirts blowing, as she cast wondrous spells and made up enchantments. My own homespun everyday Barbie couldn't possibly compete. Nadine's Queen of the Night Barbie wouldn't make friends with mine. She said she was much too dull and boring, unable to do the simplest spell. She was only suited to be a servant, so my Barbie had to perform humble and lovely tasks for the Queens of the Night. She didn't like it one bit, and neither did I. Then Nadine's mom discovered the Queen of the Night has haggle in her hair and a rip in her skirt because she would been making magic too endlessly. The Queens of the Night was confiscated and confined to her plastic palace, and Nadine wasn't allowed out to play for a fortnight. Nadine didn't care. She hung out of her bedroom window and wailed pathetically and startled passenger by the street. "Help me! My cruel mother has locked me up and thrown away the key." I was allowed my very first pair of clumpy high heels to wear at school disco when I was 10, but Nadine came with real pointy goth boots with spiky stiletto heels. She fell over 3 times while we were dancing, but she still managed to look incredibly cool. It's been worse since we started secondary school. Nadine had the first period, the first kiss, the first serious boyfriend. Liam is a total jerk, but he is good looking and he's 18. They broke up because Nadine found out all the bad things about him, but she still seems to think about him wistfully until today. I've met this incredibly warrior, super cool guy. He's like my ideal dream man. Ellie, just so ultra perfect I almost felt I've made him up. She raises one eyebrow at me. She does it perfectly. I got a bit carried away before Nadine announced she was going out with Liam. Plus, my other best friend Magna is so drop-dead gorgeous. She can always get any boy she wants. I felt so left out that I started spinning them this tale about Dan, an extremely irritated boy I met on holiday in Wales, making out he was Mr. Perfect. Then, when I started, I couldn't stop. Oh, it's such a wondrous relief not to have to do that anymore. I don't have to pretend about Russell. And now I look down at my hand. I spread my fingers wide. "Ellie, are you listening to me?" Nadine asked. "And why are you wearing the taco freebie kid's ring?" My head jerks as she slapped me. I take a step backwards, unable to believe she said it. Nadine's my friend. How can she hurt me so? I stare at her until her white face and long black hair start to blur. Ellie, what is it? Are you crying?" Nadine says. "No, of course not," I insist as a tear rolls down my cheeks. "Oh, Ellie, what have I said?" says Nadine, putting her arm around me. I try to wriggle away, but she hangs on. "No, come on, tell me. I don't get it. Why are you suddenly acting like I've done something terrible? You can't be upset because I teased you about the ring." "You said it was tacky," I mumbled pathetically. "It is tacky," says Nadine. "Natasha's worn her for days, and her fingers gone all green. I told her she would get gangrene and that her whole arm would go bad unless she had her finger chopped off immediately." Natasha pretended to be scared and told mom and cried. Well, she was just pretending, not real tears. "Not like you, Ellie." Nadine reaches out and very gently wipes away the tears. "Natasha's got a ring like mine, silver with the little love heart design." "It's not real silver, dopey. You didn't buy it, did you? It was tapped onto the front of this new kids magazine, Love Hearts." "No, I didn't buy it," I whispered. "Russell gave it to me." It had been so romantic. Russell came round to my house last night. We're not really supposed to see each other on Thursday nights, just Friday and Saturday, because of boring old homework in the evenings, and Russell has to get up horribly early every morning to do his paper round. So he didn't go out and choose my ring specially. He saw it in the newsagents when he was collecting the papers for his round and ripped the freebie ring off one of the kids' comics. "Russell gave you a Love Hearts comic ring," says Nadine. She doesn't say any more. She doesn't need to. I don't like her tone one little bit. She's never really liked Russell. She can't help wondering if she's just a weeny bit jealous. Nadine's always seemed to get wild, weird boys who treat her like dirt. Russell is kind and artistic and intelligent. He treats me like a person, a real friend. He's never tried to talk me into going too far with him. Nadine has often implied that he's a bit wet, or even suggests that he can't really fancy me. It's not that at all. He can be ever so passionate. In fact, last night it was a real struggle not to get too carried away. When we were up in my bedroom, Russell made out to Anna that he would come round to lend me his oil pastel for my art project. Well, he had, but then we slipped upstairs to my bedroom, and I was so busy coping with eggs and cooking supper and working on the new bunny series for her design knitwear that she didn't even notice. Russell and I sat a little self-consciously on the edge of my bed. He demonstrated how to use his oil pasta, though I've actually had similar crayons since I was about 7. Then he sketched out suggestions for my new vegetable still life: shiny red peppers next to yellow corn on the cob with deep purple as contrast. It looked very artistic, but I rather wanted to arrange the vegetables into a portrait. I could do a face out of tiny new potatoes with startling chili pepper lips and knocked out eyes, and then have corn blonde hair with a bowl of baby carrots. I was pretty proud of this original idea, but when I told Russell, he was rather crushing. He told me about some ancient Italian artists who'd done this centuries before. Maybe I would better stick to a straight still life after all. Anna hasn't got any managed out or peppers anyway. All the vegetables she could find were some big baking potatoes, a very yellow cauliflower forgotten at the back of the fridge, and a family-sized pack of frozen peas. I defy even old to feel inspired by this sad little selection. Anyway, I couldn't help feeling a little bit irritated with Russell when he showed me the way he thought I should arrange my composition. But I was also very aware of his warm body next to me. I loved the intent look on his face, the little furrow on his forehead, his 2 front teeth just resting on his full lower lip, the peachiness of his cheek. I couldn't help shirking it, and he turned to me and kissed me. The sketchbook fell to the floor. The oil pastel rolled right across my bedroom carpet, but we barely noticed. We soon stopped sitting upright. We just naturally sank down on my pillow. So there we were, lying in each other's arms. We weren't technically in bed together, but definitely on the bed. It felt a little weird with my girly colored clutter all around my old telly lolling behind us on the pillow. I closed my eyes and concentrated on Russell. I couldn't close my ears, though. I heard the front door slam. Dad home at last, very late. And I shouted something and Egg started wailing. Not exactly the most romantic of background noises. Then we heard Eggs clumping upstairs. Thump, thump, and his little boy lace-ups. We sprang apart in case he was about to come charging straight to the door. He didn't. Thank goodness. But Dad might come rushing up if he found out I was in my bed alone with Russell. Sorry, my family seemed horribly in evidence, I said, running my fingers through my wild hair. It's okay, Ellie. I understand, said Russell. He started playing with my hair too, teasing a strand out straight and then letting it spring back into a curl. It's hopeless hair, I said. I love it, said Russell. I love you, Ellie. He looked at me, smiling, which reminds me, I've got a little present for you. He felt in his pocket and brought out a tiny round package of pink tissue. I thought ring right away. Then I thought, no, don't be so ridiculous, Ellie. Of course it couldn't be anything as incredibly exciting and romantic as a ring when you haven't been going out with Russell that long, and it isn't even your birthday or Christmas. It'll be something sweet but silly, like a chocolate in the shape of a heart, or a tiny badge with I love you, or a minuscule teddy for a lucky mascot. But it wasn't any of these things. It was a ring, a beautiful, delicate silver ring with a heart design. Oh, Russell, I said, stuck for further words. Put it on then. I didn't know which finger to try. It looked pretty small, so maybe the little finger. Besides, if I tried my ring finger, Russell might think I was taking it far too seriously, acting almost as if we were getting engaged. You put it on for me, I said. Russell reached out and slipped it straight on my ring finger. It meant so much to me. I vowed I would never take it off. But now when I ease the ring up, my finger towards the first joint, I see the skin underneath has turned a dirty shade of green. Oh dear, you have to have your finger chopped off too, says Nadine very gently. Oh well, I don't care even if it's a freebie ring. It still means all the world because Russell gave it to me, I said stoutly. It does, but I would so love the thought of Russell taking some of his savings and going to some jewelry shop and carefully choosing a special ring for me. It's another thing entirely if he just spotted the ring on the cover of a kid's comic and rip it off. Well, that's great, says Nadine. Anyway, let me tell you about this guy. Oh, good, there's Magda. I can tell the two of you together. But Nadine's voice tails away as we both stare at Magda. Her eyes are almost as red as her dyed hair. Tears are streaming down her cheeks. So that's the end of this chapter, and I hope you enjoy it. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching.